All right. Okay, so we're going to continue on playing around with half guard. So we're going to look at guard, this sort of guarded session today. So we're going to look at half guard because we've got Gordo coming down to see us in a few weeks. We'll sort of work a little bit of half guard before that. I say half guard, we're going to kind of focus a little bit on a dogfight position, but we'll talk about that when we get there. All right. So let's start with this half guard, and we'll just do this just to get our heads back into things. We called this kind of like classical, like half guard, where I'm locking my legs around one leg. My foot is coming underneath my calf, and the other one is here. Okay, so this is kind of like this sort of classic half guard where I'm locking here. We had a little play around with knee shields. So we came up and had a high knee shield, where we were here with the knee on the chest, or a low knee shield where we had the knee across the hip. Okay, we played around with some different configurations of the legs as well, so just things to think about. Okay, all I want you to do just to start with, just to get us back into that position and playing around where we want to be. Person on top, it's very simple, just try and flatten the person out, get them flat on the floor. Person on the bottom, I want you to try and knock their hips onto the floor. Yeah, so all you have to do is just try and get them to sit in some way, in some fashion. Don't worry about trying to get up on top at the moment. Try and get them to sit or off balance them. So even if you manage to get underneath them and get their arms up here, that's cool as well. I want you just to work on unbalancing the person, moving underneath them, moving around them. Okay, cool. Just for 5 minutes, and then we'll move on from there. Okay. Grab a new partner. 1, 2, 3. Stop him from putting your back on the floor. Okay? Nice, good. Nice Yeah, yeah. You had the. Did you have the underhook? Yeah. That's the fight. Underhook. There you go. He's off balance there. Sorry, mate. Yeah, no, there was people there. Trying to fight for underhooks. Remember when we were talking about underhooks? We were top or bottom. beyond my brain. Nice, good, nice, good. Can you lift him up? Squished. There it is. Lovely. Nice. Nice. To the back. It's a move. It makes you feel like a toddler when someone does it to you, because they kick your legs out and you fall right on your bum. You fall right on your bum. It's like feel like a toddler. So no-gi, I don't really get the kick. I push them forward. So I drive forward and I climb up. Yeah, and climb up the back. As long as I can get their hands on the floor, I'm good with it. Time. No. Everyone good? Cool. Everyone cool? Everyone found out, I mean, the importance of underhooks. Yeah, trying to get the hand underneath them, the other person trying to also get the underhook so you can get the control either top or bottom. Yeah? So it was one big thing that we highlighted previously. Just want to share one idea with you guys. If we're in these sort of positions here, if I'm underhooking, the person starts to overhook my arm. Yeah. This can be very good for trying to stop me from getting around or getting towards the back or anything like that, because obviously if I want to get to his back, I want to lift and try and get under the arm to do it. Yeah. If he's overhooking my arm with a whizzer, it can be really difficult for me to get to the back. Yeah. So just one little thing I wanted to share with you guys is if I could come and hold the sleeve here. Okay. If I can hold the sleeve and come back, what I can do is raise my bottom leg and roll him over the other way by taking away his base. So we remember what we were saying about most sweeps. I'll try and do this way. With most sweeps, I want to take away a prop, I want to take away an arm to stop them from being able to go out. And if they do put their arm out, that's what you're looking to attack, right? So if I'm coming here, if he starts to overhook, I can hold the sleeve, yeah? What I'm going to do, all I have to do is really turn my hips. So just turn my hips and roll him over this way. And I can come back on top here and come out. Another thing you can look to try and do is what we call like a bottom knee shield. So I've got my top knee shield. I've got a bottom knee shield where I'm at a low knee shield where I'm on the hip, or bottom knee shield. So my bottom knee comes up. Now, you know, I'm ruining the base by twisting that leg. Yeah. So this is good. So if I can come here, look, I can even start to hold or cross grip to start bringing him over this way. Yeah. So just a few ideas for you to play with when we're moving through. Okay, so let's try this again. Yeah, change partners, just a little bit of variability. We're going to just 3 minutes, not very long, because I want to try and move on to some attacks as well. Okay, so once again, person on the bottom, you're trying to make the person fall over or put their, get them off balance. If you get up on top, bonus. Yeah. Person on the top, let's, yeah, again, just trying to flatten them out. Just try and flatten them out, okay? Flattened and controlled, okay? Cool, give it a go, 1, 2, 3. That's it. What I do. Hip, back, hamstring again. Darn hammies. Nice. So they just cramping, or is it? Oh, right at the bottom of the glute, the insertion. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the night, yeah. Yeah. Losing, yeah. Yeah, losing the energy, power in it. Nice. Shoulder on the floor, yeah, shoulders on the floor. That's it, good. Ooh. See if you can control his head. Yeah? Well, too late now. Time, okay. Okay, everyone cool? All right, so we want to try and I want to play around with you good, or yeah, with the dog fight position. So we're just going to start with trying to get there in the first place, all right? A dog fight position is when I've come out and we end up here with our legs out here. I've got one arm under, he's got one arm over. So we're basically almost in like a 50-50 position. We're in the same sort of position here. Okay, and there's plenty of things you can do with this, okay? So let's just start with, back to our classic half guard, okay? With an underhook on here, okay? The goal for the person, once again, the person on top, is to try and put my back on the floor. The goal for me is to get to this dogfight position, okay? Is to try and come up and get out to this dogfight position, okay? And then we're going to play around. Start with underhook, yeah. Scooch that knee out. That was good. I was thinking really hard and he took my hand away.
Sorry. Like that?
No, knee in. Yeah. Dog fight.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I come out, I was like, yeah.
Don't worry. I mean, as long as you're in those knees for now, you're fine because you can get them.
Coming out. Hands up.
But that was nice attacking the arm. That was good. Start with that underhook. Yeah, good. Nice. Nice. Good. Nice one, Jack. Try to keep that underhook, Jack. Yeah. Lessons learned. It's getting flat. Remember, if you've got the elbow on the floor, you don't have to stay with your elbow on the floor. You can do however you like. It's just a start position. You could come up, you could go to your shoulder, you could come up to your hand, you can do what you like. Yeah, it's just a start position, that elbow on the floor. There you go. Okay. Okay, you're not allowed this grip anymore. Go. That's it. You can't be trusted with that grip anymore, Jordan. Good, good. It's not cheating. It's just not allowing you to be able to get anywhere. So you might as well, when no one's learning anything. So I'll put a constraint on that. You guys good? Yeah, cool. Nice. You guys good? Yeah. Let go. Still sore? Yeah. Yeah, one wrong move. Time. Man. Sure, Iron Man heart. Good. Okay. May I? So yeah, it's all good. Everyone cool? Okay, so I wanna share some ideas, and then we'll kind of play with them, trying to get into them, okay, or some different options, okay. So a lot of you guys were getting out to this position quite nicely. We were starting on the elbow. And the defense of this was quite nice as well. Everyone was going, well, I'm just going to take that arm away. And they were just holding the arm, pulling the arm up, pulling it back. Fantastic. Good solution. Yeah. So I had to just stop you from doing that for a little bit. From the elbow is good, but then I'll see if I can come up on my hand. I've got a lot more drive. I've got a lot more mobility if I can get on my hand. Yeah. So this is always a good place to be. What I like to do, which is a good point that Neil brought up, was with my legs. If I can, I like to scoop the leg and sit. So we spoke about this briefly the other week about sitting on the leg here. Yeah, so I'm up on my toes and I'm sitting, driving here. Okay, if you get on top, when you come out, you get on top. Yeah, it's good because you can drive off of it. But this actually works quite nicely if I'm pinning here. Yeah, so if I've got my weight on the leg. Okay, for sweeps and stuff like this, it's quite good because I can come out and then I can drive like we were doing. Okay, so just a few things you've got. I quite like to, when I'm in this position, so if I've got the underhooks, to come up onto the collar here, okay, into this position. This leg here, that's that's hooked, I like to bring up onto the back in this way. So we've got a few options from here, okay. What I can do is I can start to try and get to a triangle. So I can bring my foot up and come back to the triangle here. Okay, so I've come up, I've created space, I've got weight on his back, and I've come round for the triangle. So I've here, I hook, step out, my leg goes high on his back, and I sit back. Now I can snag the triangle from there. Okay? Another option you have, like we've said before, if you've got a triangle, you've got an omoplata. Yeah? So if I'm in this position, I've come back out into my dog fight, I've come up high, what I can do is bring the leg over the top of the head. Now I have an omoplata to start attacking. Yeah? So there's two there. All right? What I want you to try and do is nice and light, 50%, maybe even 25% sort of intensity. Very, very light, okay? I want you to play with this. Same again, person on top, you're just trying to put the other person down, trying to put their hips on the floor, trying to put their back on the floor. One person's going to be attacking, they've got to try and get a triangle, omoplata, and if you can, an armbar. Yeah, an armbar. All right? See if you can discover that. Okay, triangle, omoplata, armbar. All right? I'll be walking around, helping out, giving some tips. Yeah, but just things to think about in that position. All right? Let's start from the half guard. Yeah? So let them get to this time you're going to let them get to the dog fight. You go from there. One person's trying to put the other person's hips on the floor. The other person's trying to get to the triangle or the armbar. Triangle, armbar, or omoplata. Okay? Remember, leg up high and a nice high underhook. Cool. Play around with it. 1, 2, 3. Can't do something. No. You can snag it. Snag it. Yep. Nice. Nice. That was good. No, but you still had the leg in between the legs. So take that leg outside so your both knees are sort of parallel to each other. So you got your underhook and you're there. Now take that right out onto your knees. Now bring that high and away you go. There you go. Yeah. How can I help? That's all right, mate. Please go. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's it. So you're doing things in reverse. So you're underhooking. That's it. Good. You come right out onto your knees. So you come right up onto your hands and then bring your foot out onto your knees. That's it. This foot All right, this knee, I want you to bring it in between. Yes, that's it. Good. Now, if you can, yes, that's it. Sit there. Okay, so you're starting from this position, all right? I want this hand to go high up onto the shoulder here. All right. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to unhook this leg and put it high onto his back. So unhook and try and step high on his back. Yeah, that's it. Rest it on his back. Good, but keep your head back there. Head under there. Good. All right. In fact, if you try and whizzer his arms, there you go. Okay, good. Now it's easy. Okay, all you're going to try and do is swing this leg over this arm here. So come right up onto your hand. Lift your. That's it. Good. Try and hold your weight on your hand. That's it. Now lock your legs together. So now look. Just there you go. So for now, don't worry about the finish. All I want you to do is just lock your legs up nice and tight. Good. Done. That's it. Yes.
When we're
Air. Yeah.
when I'm putting this one up on the back,
Yes.
You're better now. You're better how you've just done that.
So it's this one that's going up on the back, yeah?
yeah.
So this one,
I'm taking it off.
you don't, yeah, there's nothing on that one. It doesn't matter because you've still got the weight on his back, and all you want, even if he drives into you now, he's going to give you what you want.
Yeah.
Not everything I want. Just looks directly into your eyes when he says
That's what it
that.
works when they drive into you.
Yeah, because you drive in, then they give you what.
I can only be honest with you, guys. I thought you said I'm not doing this.
Take this foot out. Yes, and sitting. So sit. Get your toes on the floor. Now I want you to drive your thigh into there. Now keep that there. That's it. Now take the leg out. Keep that there and sit on his leg. Good. So you start from here. Yes. Good. Okay. Now this one. Try having the hand up here. Okay. All right. Good. So now the leg high and go. Oh. You need to get over his arm. So just over his arm, not under, just over his arm. Have a few more minutes because I didn't start the timer.
You're also grabbing this side.
Yeah, I'm there. Now,
Right.
there. Whoop. For the armbar. Omoplata, just great. All you want to do, just bring your leg over the head and sit back. Right up onto your hand. And just come right the way up. Yeah, that's it. This leg goes high on the back. The other one just comes to keep the weight here. Yeah, just do a triangle, but for the omoplata, just go over his head rather than over his arm. No, this leg. No, this leg. Up and over his head. Now you're the omoplata position because you can throw this here. There you go. There you go. Found that armbar? Yeah. Yeah. I quite like what I do is I try and shuck. Yeah. Nice. Yes. Exactly. Yeah, that's it. That's what I was going with. I was doing it with the idea of a shuck though. So you shuck that arm so they base on the floor and then take. Yeah. But that's really nice. Where they're trying to whiz and turn, you've taken the arm out, but same thing. Yeah. It's good. That is excellent for it. So if you start to drive him forward now, you've got a great sweep there. That's a great sweep. Great sweep.
It wasn't what you asked for.
No, but it's what was there. It's what was present. Work with what was present. Can you armbar him? What's an armbar? No, you haven't got any underhook. He's got both hands on the floor.
Oh, what? So he looks, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, no, over his face, surely.
Yeah, surely.
I don't know if I go for it.
What if you put? What if you put? Yeah, kinda. I wasn't. It wasn't kind of what I was. Halfway what I was thinking. Halfway what I was thinking. You could twist. You could twist large and stay on your knees. You don't have to come right up onto your onto your feet and try and
Yeah, do it.
do what I should have done. So this is the issue. This is the issue you're having here, yeah? This is the issue you're having here, yeah? So what if you put his hand on the floor?
This one?
Yeah. Now drive your shin over it and roll. His back of his neck. Pull. Now roll. There you go. One more minute. Good. Yeah, be cool. Yeah. Well.
Not just chatting.
No, it's fine. No, just asking if you're good. just you're good. It's all good. How's it on my plier? Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Well, I was just talking this there. There, that's nice. Yes, there you go, and drive around. You have a yeah. So you got a reverse armbar there. Yeah.
Once you've thumped that shoulder, that's it.
You just got to come back, shin over the back of the neck. We'll show it in the end. Good. Lovely time. Okay, time everyone. Good work. Talk amongst yourself. You good? I'll use you. All right, because of Chip's leg. Everyone cool? So, everyone happy enough with that idea, those ideas? So the thing I was thinking about for the armbar is to try and make them put their hand on the floor. So if I'm in this position here, and I've circled, I've pinned the leg, I've come up here in this position, this leg's gone nice and high. If I can shuck to put their hand on the floor and I'm over, I look to then come all the way over the top. And I just carry that roll on here. If it doesn't roll, I still finish from this position, yeah? As long as my knees are tight, I'm good. He can do a forward roll. If he does a forward roll, that's fine with me because I finished with the armbar there. Yeah? So just a thought. And in any of those positions, when you're on their back or on their side, if they put their hand on the floor and it's away from them, there's an armbar. So just think about that. Yeah? Cool. Again, this goes back to this idea of just isolation of limbs. And when we play our tennis ball games, if you can put an arm away from them, that for a second, it may not be for long, but it's isolated, you know? Especially if you put weight on it. If they put weight on that arm, you cannot move this arm. Yeah, if the weight is on this arm and you're balancing on this arm, you cannot move it unless you want to fall over. Yeah? So it's a good thing to think about, and this is a good principle when people wrestle as well, is they try and put their hands on the floor, because we talked about this and when we do a bit of no-gi, is if their hands are on the floor, they're not using their hands to defend. Okay? So if I can put my hand on the floor, the weight is over it, I can attack it, because there's space there. If we're in these sort of positions where it's really close, yeah, all right, this is not going to be great base, because I can't generate or absorb any force, yeah? But my elbows are in tight, there's no real attack, because they're not isolated, they're part of me. As soon as an arm or a limb leaves my body, now's your opportunity. Now you can start to attack that arm, that leg, whatever. Yeah? Same with the legs. Yeah? Cool? Okay. Any questions? Sweet. We'll do it's half an hour left now, so we'll do a few 3-minute rounds. Just keep changing, moving around. Cool. Paul, you pick your partners, yeah? Because don't want to get injured. Everyone good? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Bye.